Olly Plastow, welcome to the 16th episode of Progressus. Pleasure to have you on.
Thank you very much. I'll shake your hand.
Yes, good to have you on today.
Thank you very much.
So, for the people who don't know much about you and may not have seen your LinkedIn
Yeah.
or your Instagram, do you want to explain to our audience a little bit about what you do? In as briefly as you can.
As briefly as I can. I'll try my best. So, yeah, I don't want to sound like I'm from Paddy McGuinness, can't remember his show, but yeah, 27, and I've got a commercial fit-out business based in Manchester City, well, not Manchester City Centre, but Altrincham, which is about 7 miles outside of Manchester. So I actually started that with my dad about 6 years ago. So we are on our 6th year now, so we just had our financial year last year. And we do commercial office fit-outs throughout the UK for some major blue chip clients. So yeah, that's pretty much what I do. I've got a couple of other businesses as well that I've just started, so they're in their infancy. But kind of almost like an angel investor, so... Yeah.
I would say that you're the first guest that we've had on so far as well who has a business that isn't like an online business or an education business or a 100%. Coaching business. So it'll be interesting to kind of pick your brains on what the world of... I would say that you probably operate on a bit of a higher level to an online business.
Yeah, well, it's interesting, right? So obviously, I'm friends with a couple of guys that you had on.
Yeah.
And I've explained to them a couple of times. So we are a B2B business. We either deal with consultants who are obviously... so basically how the industry works is you have an end user who is your perfect client. So an end user perfect client. So you deal direct with them of how they want their office or their retail space to be done. They pay you X, Y, Z. Or you go through a tender process, which is a consultancy usually come to you, a large company of project managers who will say, I've got this client, this is what they want. And they'll send it out to 4 different companies. And the most competitive one wins. Right. So that's the two sides of our business, how we get business in. And to answer your question in short form, it's just business to business. So it's word of mouth. Everything's done on word of mouth. Yes, you do SEO because the world runs like that. So that is our online kind of way of selling is SEO marketing, having almost like your websites in our industry are almost just like a landing page. Yeah. So like when I said to you before, have you been on our website? It's not there's nothing to buy on it. It's just a showcase for us, just like almost like a reel for us. And then use LinkedIn to your advantage and bits and pieces like that. So yeah, we are different to them. We do operate on a different level. Obviously, I'm asking any individual or a company to spend anything up to £4 million on one project with me. So you can't buy that online. It's not. Yeah. It's not like going and buying what people deem expensive. So say like a Louis Vuitton bag online, that's 4 or 5 grand. You're asking people to part millions with you. So it's due diligence. It takes a long time to get these people. It's trust. So you have to have that. Short form of you meet people, you meet people, you take them out for dinner, you shake their hands, and you actually look the people. I like looking people in the white of their eyes. I like meeting people, and they gain trust from us, and just having a good reputation is how you do business, basically.
Obviously, something that's kind of been a reoccurring theme with the past, like Charlie said, the online business owners, is at the start of their journey, the way that they've kind of got themselves going is through Snapchat, Instagram, social media. Yeah. But obviously you've just said it's kind of different to you.
It is different.
So if we run it back to the beginning of how you kind of got everything kicking off in the first place.
Well, it's actually funny, right? So so when I was younger, I hated school. That's not to say that school's the right thing for everyone. I was very envious when I was younger of people who were good in school and could do the grades. But unfortunately, I've got raging ADHD, and for me, sitting in a classroom was not ideal, so I was naughty. So I actually got kicked out of college. Well, I decided to leave, didn't tell my parents, and just continued to go in.
What were you doing at college?
I was doing media studies, actually, funny enough, even though I just said that I can't use a camera. But yeah, I just didn't listen. And anyway, I actually got kicked out by my mum when I was living in Wales, and I went back to live in Manchester, and I got a call centre job, hated that. Did a trial shift in Domino's. I walked out because the football was on. Yeah, I did. Dick move, but the football was on anyhow. And then my granddad and my uncle had their own interior fit-out company, and my dad was working there as well. So I went to go work there as an administrative assistant kind of thing. So I was on an apprentice wage, £3 an hour, and even then I was on an apprenticeship. I didn't want to do the work, so I just kept telling the guy that I was too busy for him to come in and actually talk to me. So, and then they ended up ringing work and being like, he's just not done any of his work. So my apprenticeship got sacked. So by that time, they had a really successful company and turned over up to like 13, 14 million in the highest in their peaks. So I did that, went there for 5 years. I worked there from the age of 17, and then at 21 or 22, and my dad's friend, who unfortunately is not with us anymore, he had always offered to set him up because he's working for my uncle, and he brought about £6 million a year into the company, just delivering his own clients, having that client basis, who again, like I said before, trusted him and just valued his skill sets and always wanted to deal with him. So he always said, you know, he didn't want to do it because my dad's quite risk averse, whilst I'm very risky. I like taking risks, whilst he's risk averse. So my dad's friend said to him, I'll set you up. He was from a property background. He said, I'll give you some money for 6 months. So he gave us a loan, not a large amount of money. So we had this loan for 6 months, and it was, you know, we had to leave our jobs, both of us, start this business and try and graft and get a job in. So luckily enough, someone actually reached out to me on LinkedIn, and said, I've noticed you've started up on your own. I was going to use the old company, but can I use you guys? Like, you might be more competitive. So I was like, yeah, fine, like, send it over to us. And we did, and we ended up doing a job for them. And literally, it was the end of the fifth month. And we were literally going into our last month, we were like, shit, the money's going to run out. Like, we're just going to have to go back working for people. And luckily enough, that job came in, and that kept us going, and the snowball effect happened, and here we are 6 years later.
Because I was going to say, it's the kind of business that you're in, it's not I guess, how many competitors do you have in the UK? Like, real competitors?
Thousands. It's a saturated market. It's a saturated market, but people, it's hard to educate people about how much work is out there. So a lot of people say to me when I meet them is, I could do my own offices. And the answer is, yes, if you worked in an office, say, this size, you may be able to. Imagine you had 400 staff and you had to find a new premises. You had to find, it's not, a man in a van can't do your 400 person office. Like, you need calculations of air vents, of how much air everyone needs. You need power and data to all your appliances and all your computers. You need floor coverings, you need designs, you need structurals, you need all that. You can't do it yourself. So that's where people like us come in, and the answer is that you've got thousands of people who are willing to do the same thing. But the bigger you get as a company, and this is what I was saying before, when you talk about growth, the bigger you get, it's a race to the bottom when it comes to margin. So SMEs like us, when we came out of COVID, we did really well in COVID. And the main reason is that people were out of the office. So for us, a lot of the time we have to go into occupied offices and do work around people. Not around people because that's legal, but people have to get moved around. We disturb people, we're drilling, people complain, I can't do my work. And when we came out of COVID, or when we were in COVID, everyone was out the office, it was great. And that's when landlords decided to do loads of work. But SMEs like me, who only carried at the time 5-6 staff, we were fine. It was the larger clients large companies within my industry that really struggled because they had so many staff. So to do the larger jobs, you have to have obviously a larger staff, and you carry a large overhead. So they had to put all their staff on furlough. So then they were suddenly competing against the SMEs.
Right.
So which is odd. So usually you wouldn't get a higher tier company or a large company competing with SMEs, someone like myself. But that's how it came down. But there's loads of people, thousands of companies that do like I do, from people who turn over £100,000 a year to £500,000 a year. So, and then when you start getting into where we are, you have a tier 1, which is anywhere between $1 million and $4 million, and then you have tier 2 contractors, which is anywhere between 5 and 15, and then anywhere between, you start talking about 20 million a year is your tier 1s, and then you've got like your big builders and stuff like that.
So for people who maybe might be watching this and they don't actually understand what an SME is, would you care to give it like a brief explanation?
An SME, right? I'm gonna have to think about this. Right, it's a small medium enterprise. So someone who may have 4 or 5 staff, or may only turn over between 0 to, like I said, 7 million. But again, we're just about to turn over 12 to 14 million this year, and we've only got 10 staff. So we still so we'd still be classed as an SME. But so even though you might hear people talking about how many millions they turn over, you still classed as a small, medium enterprise. Like £12 million, like to you, even though you just said wow, in the grand scheme of things, is nothing. It's nothing compared to what some of these huge companies are turning over, and that's an enterprise. That's a real functioning business.
So in terms of like, people working for you then, is all your workers in-house, or do you kind of subcontract everything?
No, we subcontract everything else. So yeah, we are deemed, if you ask HMRC, as being a contractor. So we pay a thing called CIS tax because we're a contractor, and we do handle materials, and we do buy materials, but everything's subcontracted out. Yeah, we've got myself, my dad, my cousin, another project manager, 2 girls in the office, and we've actually got a couple more guys starting as well next week, and then a couple of site managers. But apart from that, all the labour is all subcontracted out. But the guys kind of work with us all the time. We carry the same teams around, and people are like, oh, have you got one electrician? There's not one electrician. There's at any one time, if we had, like at Christmas, we had £6 million on, you're talking you've got 400 to 500 people working all around the country for you. And we do utilise things like recruitment agencies, but for blue collar positions. But yeah, that's how you manage it. It's all subcontracted.
So you went from the apprenticeship to Consensus.
Did.
And what was it that kind of like engaged you about this side of business and work?
I've always been money driven, and I still am. I'm money driven. I'm not crazy, but I am money driven, and I've always liked the idea of business, and I feel like business is an easy thing to do, especially if you just like talking. And that sounds really simple, but it's the truth. As long as you can hold and structure a conversation, like what we were having here before. We all stood here and we all talked about what we were doing. And I know the guy over there has worked at Barclays, but yeah, it's all about. Do you know what? When I was younger, I got taught like the most valuable thing I've ever been taught is it's not what you know, it's who you know. And that is literally it. It's like we've never met before. You've got me on here through someone you know. So, and that's what it's all about. And me sat here doing business, and I've always liked that side. I've always liked being able to go and speak to people and holding myself in that caliber. But I mean, maybe I'm jack of all trades, master of none. But yeah, I've always liked that kind of thing, and money does drive me. But it's actually interesting when we set it up when I was 22. It was actually me who met my dad's friend watching England versus Croatia 2008 World Cup.
Wow.
And I said, I'm going to do it on my own. I was like, I'm sick of working for the people I was working for. It wasn't a nice environment. It was a toxic workplace. And it was blame culture. And I just didn't want to be in that any longer. I'm a positive person and I hated it. And I don't know if you've ever been in a job where you didn't like the actual struggle to get out of bed every morning to drag yourself to that place. And it was like one of those work cultures where the boss comes in and everyone puts their head down. And I didn't want to do that anymore. And I said to him, I was like, whether it's decorating, whether it's doing what I'm doing, I'm going to do it on my own. He was like, but you've only been doing it for 4 years. I was like, I don't care. I would, without any money at all, I didn't have a pot to piss in. I had nothing. I was on £5, £6 an hour as an apprentice. I was going to do it on my own because I wanted to better myself.
So for people who are like maybe in the same position that you were, and they're in potentially the industry that they want to be in, but they want to take that leap and kind of start their own thing.
I have conversations with people all the time.
Yeah, just go for it. Because I know everyone's got a different take on it, but it always goes back to just take the leap.
Go. You will never know. Like, if you never put the lottery on, you're never going to win. It's that age-old thing. If you like, and it's like, listen. I had a conversation when I was on holiday last week with a lad, really good at Polster. He's got a nice little side business, doing really well. And I said, why not? He goes, well, I kind of owe the guy that I'm working for something. I've been working since apprentice, but I don't kind of want to make that leap. Like, I've got bills to pay. Well, we've all got bills to pay. So when people go, why are you doing better than me? Or why did, take the fucking leap. Just do it. Yeah.
I mean, you spoke about the kind of word of mouth thing at the beginning.
Yeah.
Do you know, say you don't have them connections at the start, what's, for people, especially in your industry, what's the best way to kind of get yourself out there? I know you spoke about LinkedIn as well, LinkedIn, and stuff like that.
LinkedIn, it's multidisciplined with LinkedIn, it really is. So you can set up a page. So take, for example, you're working at a business, but you want to start your own business. Well, go on Company's House read your contract first, right? See if you can actually do it. Or if you're not asked, just do it anyway. It costs you nothing. It'll cost you £12 to set up your own company. Set up your own company's house. Set up a LinkedIn page. See if you can drive some business. See if you can do it. That's the easiest way. That's the 21st century way. Or start asking people who you know if they know anyone who needs your services.
Yeah.
I'm sure everyone's a member at a gym. Start talking to people.
I got my first 5 pieces of work all from people that I knew.
Correct.
Like, worked for free, got my first 5 testimonials, had my proof of work.
Exactly. So go to places where the people are. You know people. Make a what I do is strategy. Easy. Get a piece of paper, draw a circle, put my business in the middle, and then what do I want? Who do I want to target? Who do I know in that area? Oh, right, I know that person. They know that. What's the rule? You're only 3 people away from knowing the Queen.
Yeah.
So you're only 2 people away from getting business. Or 1 person away from getting business.
I want to touch a little bit on about what you said about the bad culture that you had at your old work. And what do you do now at Consensus to try and keep that culture positive and healthy?
What we do at Consensus now is, it's not a workplace. I've never said to someone, you work for me. They work with me. They are allowed to come in the office whenever they want. No one, if you ask anyone that works at our place, apart from the guys on site, because they're also subcontracting, they're paid on rates and stuff like that. So that's a little different, but again, that's not marshalled. Majority of the guys are self-employed, they work the hours they work. But in the office, come in when you want. I trust my staff. Trust them fully. Don't micromanage people. Don't ring people saying, where are you? What are you doing? If someone wants a day off the next day, give it to them. Because guess what? The guys who work for me, they ask for a day off, they will answer their phone. If there's an email, it's important, they'll flick it on, or they'll answer it. When they're on holiday, they'll answer the phone, they'll take the laptops with them. I don't ask them to do that, because I don't want to ask them to do that. But because I have faith in them. I put a post on LinkedIn yesterday, and it was the best, as an entrepreneur, you're starting a business, the best thing you can do is trust people. Trust your staff. It's like anything, right? If you have a partner, man or woman, if you don't trust them, you don't have a relationship with them.
Yeah.
Because the trust isn't there. It's like, so if you ever have staff, you ever have the luxury, and it is a luxury of having staff. It really is. You guys starting out, to pay someone to have staff is a luxury. So treat it like that. Treat your staff and it's family. We're all family, and I have a few family members working for me.
Yeah.
But the other guys who work for me as well feel like family as well.
So all about that, keeping those good relationships.
Exactly, keeping good relations. Everyone goes for a drink on Friday. Pay everyone a Christmas bonus. Pay everyone a bonus every 6 months. If the company do as well. Everyone in my company knows the company's finances.
Yeah.
Because they're all on the system. They know how much we're making. So pay them. Give reviews. Give pay rises. Just be nice. Just be nice to people. And that's how people work hard for you. People will work for you and stay as long as possible to get the job done that you've asked them to do, and as long as you treat them well at the end of it. So I pay all my project managers, and it's an unusual thing to do in my industry, commission. If they make over a certain margin, then they get paid commission. If they complete the job on time, on budget, you get paid. And they love that. No, and you know, we've got a subcontract guy working for us at the moment. He's like, you treat me like an employee. But I could leave at any time. It's like, well, you're not going to leave, though, are you?
Yeah, 100%.
So that's the way. That's the way you do it.
Do you think that starts in the hiring process? Like, what's your kind of?
Yeah, because I've just had someone come into me from a high-profile business, another high-profile business, who contacted me on LinkedIn and said, "I've seen the way you promote yourself and how you are, and I've heard good things. I want to come with you."
Yeah, I was going to say, so is your kind of process for getting how you've gained all your staff over the years? I know obviously you said some of it's your family, but other than that, is it kind of just
again
here and...
like, so Jane in our office, who, by the way, she'll probably watch this, is like absolute legend, been there been with us 5 years. It was a friend of a friend who and she wasn't enjoying the job, so she came and worked for us, and she's been here for 5 years. Karen was our business partner's wife, and she does our accounts. And then Steve used to work for us at my old company.
So you work with other entrepreneurs as well.
Yeah.
What are some of the kind of most common things that you see that beginner entrepreneurs get wrong?
trying to grow too quickly, take on too much they can handle.
Yeah.
Yeah, take on too much they can handle. And when you start out, you don't know what, unless you're taught, you don't know what cash flow is. You don't know how to manage your accounts. And then suddenly you get lost and you're like looking at all these different sheets of paper, look at your bank account going, I thought I was making this much money. So that's what they do. And they think they can conquer the world. You start making... Ego is the biggest thing. Don't have an ego. Don't look at that nice bit of money in your account, because that money ain't yours. It'd be very easy for me to get money in. So say we do a job for £3 million, right? Someone pays me. They don't pay me in £3 million to pay me in sections, but say I get paid 600k. That money ain't mine. That money, or 10, 15, 20%, whatever it is we're making on that job, that is our money, that 10, 15, 20%.
Yeah.
The rest of it is the contractor's money. So what they do is they look at this money and go, oh, this is amazing. Look, I've got 100 grand in my bank account. Well, that money isn't yours. And also, don't forget, you're going to have to pay tax on that as well.
Yeah.
So keep grounded, don't have an ego, and don't overcommit.
Yeah.
That's what they do, they overcommit, and then you I can't remember the phrase, it's you overpromise, underdeliver, that's it. And that's what people do.
So would the antidote to that to be like seek out people like you, or maybe more experienced entrepreneurs who do know what they're doing with cash flow and accounts?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, we're masters of it. And I actually explained this to someone the other day. So I help the individuals also grow their businesses just for free. I'm not charging anyone. The people that I know, and it's for no intents and purposes other than I just like doing it. And I said to someone the other day, they said, "Oh, I've got all these retainers coming in." She does business development. I said, "Oh, I've got all these retainers coming in. What can I do?" And I said, "Find someone else within your industry who you can trust or you like. You don't take anyone more on, and subcontract it out, split the margin." And that we are masters of that in our industry. And again, it goes back to trusting my subcontractors. So like you said, find someone else that you can trust who can manage cash flow for you. So find a really good accountancy company who you can afford, who will manage your cash flow, manage your management accounts, your monthly management accounts, your Zero, whatever program you're running off, and does all your invoicing for you. It might cost you £500 a month, but guess what? It's better than being a busy fool running around trying to do everything all the time. So that's what they do, and then suddenly you're working 20 hours a day, running on 4 hours sleep. You might have kids, and then next week you're crashing and you're burning, you're taking time off, and that's how it fails. So never under promise, over deliver.
Do you think there's too much of a thing then with everyone at the start just purely chasing numbers?
Yeah, that's the whole world's driven on money, and people once you get right. Everything, I like to think that everything refers back to when you're a kid.
Yeah.
What your parents teach you. Everyone always tells you once you get a job and you get your money, because everyone goes, when they're younger, no one wants a fucking job, do they? Everyone just wants to go out with their mates. So it's like, when you get a job, when you start getting money, you'll become hungry. And it's a problem. Once you start, and I like to say to everyone, more money, more problems. Everything is relative.
Yeah.
As soon as you start earning more money, you start spending more money. As soon as you start bringing more money into the business, again, you start spending money or more problems. As soon as you start earning more, you need more staff, you need more expertise. So just going back to your other question is, like we hired, so unfortunately, this is an unfortunate story. So I was talking about my old business partner who's no longer with us. So unfortunately, he actually when we went on our record year, he went on a skiing trip on the Friday. Unfortunately, he had a freak accident and passed away on the holiday. So, and he was our finance director. So we were in our record year, and we just lost our finance director. Yeah. And his daughter and his wife were our accountants. We had no accounts team overnight. But the jobs didn't stop. The industry didn't stop for us.
You have to be prepared, I guess. You never know what turn it could take.
So, what did we do? We went and spoke to one of my granddad's old friends who did his accounts for him, and he helped us out. And that's all it is. Go out and get help off people. Or, like we had a non-executive director who worked at Deloitte's accounting for over 20 years. And he helped us he taught us how to do tax. He taught us how to make strategic business decisions. And again, don't have an ego. Let someone I hire people who are better than me. I was doing project management. Guess what? I'm shit at it. I am. I'm not. But I knew that. But I did it. I wasn't shit, but I did it, and I did it to the best that I could.
Yeah.
But now I've come to the position where I can hire people who are better than me. I'm taking on a business development manager and a commercial director because they're better than me. They know more people than me, but they'll grow. But I have the passion to sell a business.
Yeah.
I always enjoy sitting and talking to people like yourself, because I feel like a lot of people of our age have been very exposed to online businesses in the senses that things with low barrier to entry, so like freelancing services or video editing, or like, so I started doing copywriting, and where that is, you're self-employed. Like at the moment I'm self-employed, I don't have a business. But when I speak to people like yourself, or people like my girlfriend's dad runs an IT company down in Kelham Island that turns over similar figures to yourself, and I realised that there is a whole different world out there of like everything that we were talking when we stood up about. Ballgame. Just did not understand a thing that you said, like about finances or credit or anything like that. Game. And it's just a different ball game. It is completely,
because you're in uncharted territory. You're starting to seriously get pressured, and you've got mouths to feed, so you need to be on the ball. You're saying, I'm guessing in IT, it's got a lot of staff.
Yeah.
Yeah, guess what? Then you got the HMRC knocking on your door. I say you owe me 25% of your profit. That's scary. I have to fill a tax return. I was getting paid as a dividend, right? When you get paid as a dividend, it was great. Yeah, you get paid £758, and then you get paid your dividend on top, which is for people that don't know, a dividend is your gross pay. So if you're ever paid for your PAYE, all your national insurance, your contributions, everything like that, your pensions all deducted. Now I'm getting paid the full whack. Then I'm expected to save my money for the next 12 months. Again, I don't know what to do. Imagine me at 23, right? I'm getting paid more than the average person, but I'm getting paid in gross. Yeah. What am I going to do with that money at 23 if you've got no one advising you to do that? So seek advice. And it's scary. You've got multiple things. It's not just do your job, like go to work, do your job, get paid, fill in a tax return at the end of the year, right? Or whatever you're doing, getting paid cash, whatever. I don't know what you're doing. But don't just do that. I've got other people that I need to think about. I've got profit and losses to think about. I have to sit down with my dad and the non-executive director every month. We look at the figures. You scrutinise where you can save more money. Every penny's accounted for. Yeah. And that's where it really starts getting scary. You could be so overexposed. It isn't just like going on TikTok, selling someone on TikTok shop, and away you go, or running some courses and away you go, and running Discord, putting a couple of fucking messages in there. No, you have got people who depend on you. If I stop working, if I stop selling my business, then people lose their jobs. This is serious. I lose my livelihood. Yeah. So it is serious. It's a completely different ballgame.
I think that is one of the bigger differences as well. Like a lot of people we've spoken about having mentors, either somebody to hold you accountable or seeking help from somebody higher up. But in their case, it's holding themselves personally accountable. And if they stop, it's kind of they're losing money. But then I guess like what you've said, if you stop and you're not holding yourself accountable, it's so much else that comes crashing down.
Yeah, I've always thought that. I've always been driven by the fact that people depend on me. Yeah. I like people depending on me. If you ask any of my friends, I give my friends so much, and if anyone who's ever in my company, I'll happily pay for things. I like people depending on me because it keeps me accountable. And that's how I do it. So if I've got people working for me, you bet I'm going to work my arse off. I'm going to keep bringing money into this business. And I remember when we were having not uncertain times, it wasn't uncertain times, when it was about to be a recession. And me and my dad had to sit down and we had to say, I'm only 25, 26 at this point. And I'm sitting down with my dad, and then he said to me, what are we going to do? And he said, I've been through a recession, it's tough, like, you're going to have to get grips. And I said, there's one thing, and I put my hand on the table, and I said, you bet if there's a recession, I will still be fucking here, everyone will still be here in this business, and we will still be in the same office, all driving the same cars, because we will make it work. And even in COVID, like, to pay my staff full pay, I took a pay hit. I took 30% off my own wage to pay everyone. We didn't take furlough, we didn't take any bounce back loans. Just, that's what you do as a business owner. Yeah. You're a leader. Lead.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it kind of goes back to that thing of your relationships with all your, like if anything like that happens in the recession or whatever, the relationship with all the people underneath you, they need somebody to look to and be like,
it's easy to capitulate. It's easy to capitulate. Lead. Be like, and not even like talking about like not even being misogynistic or anything. I'm not actually, but if you go back to again when you were a kid, my dad was a leader in my house. He was. And so was my granddad. He was a leader, and you like my dad. Do you know what? One of my favourite people ever is Margaret Thatcher, because do you know why? Not just because she was Tory MP, but also the fact that she was a woman at the time, and everyone told her she couldn't do it because she was a woman and she was making drastic changes within the country. But you know what? She didn't give a fuck, and she led from the front, and she actually delivered the country that we are in today. And like, just again, if she can do it, and everyone, the whole nation is 60 million people berate her, well, you can do it as well. Hold yourself accountable. You don't need to pay a mentor. I just look at my dad my dad sits across from me. I just look at him and think, if I stop, he stops. Yeah. My cousin sat next to him. Look at him. If I stop, he stops. Be a team. Be accountable for yourself. You don't need to pay a fucking mentor to teach you how to be accountable. Yeah. How do you think they got there?
Do you think then for people who are kind of running a business on their own, as opposed to having a team, what would you say? Do you think it's worth like the mentor side or having something? Because I guess it's a different thing of accountability because you don't have that circle of people around you necessarily.
Yeah, then again, if you are on your own and you feel that will benefit you, then do it. Yeah. Everything's to your own benefit. It doesn't matter where I say you're right or wrong. Mm-hmm. If you benefit from it, if you think you're going to benefit, do it. Yeah, 100%. Do what makes you happy. So for me, I've got a personal trainer. I don't go to him. He gives me a plan, but keeps me accountable. Well, he'll tell you I'm not. But again, but I do what I want to do. What makes me happy. It's like, so at the moment, I keep seeing people saying, "Be sober, be this, don't drink." If you drink, I even see people saying, "If you drink, you won't make it. If you don't work 24 hours a day, you won't make it." That is utter bollocks. It's all dependent on how far you want to take it or what makes you happy. Yeah. That's all it is. If you want to go out and have 5 beers with your friends every single night, but you get out to work in the morning and you go and work a hard day's graft and you keep excelling, then why does it matter?
I guess all that matters is that the work gets done. Correct. And you can be hungover, but it doesn't matter as long as the work gets done.
I don't want people coming in hungover, but if the work gets done, if someone wants to work from home because they're hungover, and they've admitted that to me because they would, but the work's getting done and it's getting done to a satisfactory level or a good level, then who cares? Mm-hmm. Who cares? Like, people have a life outside of work too, right? As long as you're not doing anything antisocial, embarrassing yourself and turning up to a meeting, smelling of alcohol, then fine, but keep yourself accountable.
So you spoke a little bit about having a personal trainer and kind of like your fitness journey,
Richard.
But I want to take it back. Obviously, off camera you spoke to us that you've lost a lot of weight and that. So kind of how the weight loss journey came about and everything.
So when I was younger, I was just saying to you off camera then, like, mum and dad split up and my mum worked 2-3 jobs at a time. So when I came home from work, from school, she wasn't there most of the time. So when I was in secondary school, by the way, she wouldn't leave me on my own when I was in primary school. But in secondary school, and it'd be she'd leave some money on the side for me. She didn't have time because she'd be working in the morning, working at night. So I'd have to go chippy. What do you eat at 13, 14? Chippy, 100%. Pizza, or something that I could just put in the oven or microwave, and then. Also, I lived in quite a rural area for a bit at that age. Nothing around, so what are you going to do? Sit and eat. Yeah. There's nothing else you can do. It's not. I lived in a village of 23 people.
Really?
What?
Yeah, when I got moved to Shropshire, I did. 23 people. You're in the sticks, like 4 miles from the nearest shop.
You can't drive either because you're in.
No, exactly, and you're not going to walk 4 miles to a shop, so you're miles away from everyone. So I ended up getting to the round total 21 stone. Like you were saying, you've seen them on LinkedIn, like you've seen the pictures. I was big, and basically how it actually came about wasn't for any particular reason. Remember one day, my cousin will tell you straight, right? I walked up a set of stairs, and at 19, and I was out of breath, and I texted him that night, and I said, "I'm joining the gym, I'm going to lose all this weight," and he said, "I've heard it all before, you won't." I said, "No, this time I'm going to do it."
How old were you at this point?
19.
Right.
Fair enough. Yeah, and I said, "I'm going to do it." And he was like, "You won't." And I did. And I lost 10 stone in 7 months.
7 months.
So I went, listen, ask anyone, I went to the gym and I've got bad knees because of it. I ran, I walked, I ate chicken and broccoli. That's all I ate. I must have been having 809 calories. And by the way, everyone will tell you the most unhealthiest way you could do it. I was going to the gym twice a day and that was my mission. I had no life. I decided that's what I was going to do. Yeah. My treat to myself was dry Cheerios. That was my treat to myself. But I had the mindset that I was going to do it.
Yeah. And how do you think it, like, just losing all that weight affected, like, your relationships with people and, like, the way that you thought about yourself?
Nothing. Myself. Listen, for a bit, my ego boosted. Like, it boosted. And, like, I was saying to you at one point, I was like, 7% body fat. But I wasn't happy. Like, yeah, my ego was boosted. And, yeah, you get more attention, obviously, when you were fucking 21 stone or when you're, like, 14 stone. Like, yeah, and I looked great. Like, I was in great. When I look back at pictures of myself, I looked great. But I wasn't happy.
Yeah.
I was just going on runs, like, to get like that. Like, anyone who's ever, like, amazing shit, like, don't get me wrong, people have good genetics and you can have a six-pack and you be in good shape, right? But you still have a social life. Like, some people just have, like, my cousin just has great genetics.
Yeah. 100%.
He eats what he wants, always has been able to. Can go out and drink, but he can go into the gym and he can still, if he tries, he'll get a six-pack in 3 weeks. Like, I don't have that genetic, right? But to actually be an athlete and to be at that elite level, that is your life. So you take like someone like George Heaton, for example. That's his life. Like, my accountant is, me and George Heaton have the same accountants, right? RPG, brilliant accountants. That's his life. Yes, represent is his life, but he is the brand. So his whole image is him as an athlete. He's an athlete. That's his life. So to get down to that, that's what he has to do. But that's what makes him happy. To me, I wasn't happy in that being that 7%. Am I happy now? Yeah, I am. I go to the gym every morning at 5:30. Right. Not because that's going to make you a CEO, by the way. This is something I put on LinkedIn not so long ago. Is that I don't go to the gym and I don't at 5:30. And by the way, I don't have fucking cold showers because I don't like them. I like having a warm shower. And I've always drank black coffee even when I was fucking fat, right? But I go to the gym at 5:30. I'll get there for 6, sorry. Because it's easier to get a workout there done. And the only benefit is to you going at that time is that if you start at work at 8 o'clock, you've already been up for 2 hours and you're pretty much ready to go. But guess what? By 8 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock at night, you're fucking tired. And do you know what? Fair play to me. I saw a podcast of George Heaton and everyone thinks I'm like this Wonder Man. And I get up at 4 o'clock and I do this. He goes, no, I get up at 4 o'clock and I just go to bed earlier than everyone else. Like, I go to bed at 8 o'clock because everyone needs sleep, right?
Yeah, 100%.
So, yeah, I did. I went through a fitness journey and I've been up and down ever since. And I can get myself in really good shape if I really try. But yeah, I love running. Like I was saying before, like I told everyone in the office that I could do a half marathon. Like, I do like to think that I've got this like mindset that if I put my mind to something, I'll do it. I really will. I've got a mental mindset. And I told everyone I'd do it, and everyone went, you won't. And I actually went out with my cousin's girlfriend for drinks the night before. I got smashed. But I promised everyone I was going to do it, and I was not going to let people say that I'd made a cock of myself. So I did it, and did it in an hour and a half.
Where was this, in Manchester?
Yeah. I can prove it. I'll send you the Strava.
We'll put it on the screen.
Nah, like, honestly, I think an hour and 28 minutes, something like that. And I did it. And I was like, yeah, if you put your mind to it. Like, my friend, when he lived with me, Leon, said he was like living with David Goggins. Like, if you wanted to get fit, like, I'll do it. Like, I'll do it to, like, but that's an unhealthy mind. Like, the way I do it is unhealthy.
Yeah.
So you're going to go to the gym, and then you're going to lift weights, and then you're going to go for a 5K, and then you're going to get 20,000 steps in, and then you're only going to eat 1,500 calories. Like, you guys go to the gym, right?
Yeah.
That's really unhealthy. Like, my friend and personal trainer, Richard, by the way, incredible looking guy, complete natural, like, amazing, dedicated to everything, doesn't drink, fucking brilliant personal trainer, like, great person to look at if you want to be really good in fitness but want to take it seriously. And yeah, I just don't have that in me.
So you said that even when you got into shape when you were younger, you weren't happy, but you said you're happy now.
Yeah.
What's kind of changed?
I have a balance.
Yeah.
Right.
I go to the gym, I go on a run, but I'll also go out for a few beers, and I'll also, if I want to eat something, I'll eat. The main thing, right, And my girlfriend says to me all the time, and everyone always says, she's like, your catchphrase, you live once. Don't be fooled by anything you see on, like, I'm the biggest believer in don't be fooled by the 21st century TikTok reel, Instagram reel bollocks. You live once. I know people, and I've been in a situation where life gets taken away from you like that. You were here 1 minute, you're gone the next. I know people who smoked all their life, drank all their life, I'm not endorsing this, drank all their life, smoked all their life, and lived to the 90.
Yeah.
And ate whatever they wanted to. So, yeah, if it makes you feel, again, going back to it, everything comes down to personal preference and making you feel good. If you feel good going to the gym and starving yourself and having a six-pack and you care what people think, what you look like, that's great. But I'm here to live once. So the answer is, yeah, I want to go to the pub. I want to have a few drinks. I want to take my clients out and go get pissed with them. And I want to go out with my cousin. I want to go out with my girlfriend. And I want to have drinks. And I want to eat whatever I want. And that's what I want to do. But I'll go to the gym to balance it out. Some weeks will be better than others.
Mm-hmm.
I've just been on holiday last week. I was just smashing the beers. I did, I smashed beers. I went to a wedding, I had a good time. I ate what I wanted to because I'm not here to work 52 weeks a year, right? And have holidays and continue to work. Yeah. It's all about, and again, anyone who's a young entrepreneur, no one works 365 days a year, 12-hour days. No one does that. My biggest thing that I keep telling everyone is, right? Everyone, do you remember when everyone's going crazy for Andrew Tate, right? Yeah, by the way, fucking hate the guy, right? And this is what I was saying to people. Someone said to me, oh, you bet he wasn't scared in prison. Yes, he fucking was. He'd be like the same as everyone else. He would be in a foreign country, he doesn't speak the language, right? And he's famous. He'd be terrified. So don't believe the shit that you have to be this person. You have to be, get cold showers. You have to drink cold, black coffee. You have to get up at 4 a.m. Read 25 pages of a book. Just do what makes you happy. Yeah. Well, you never know. You might win the fucking lottery. Life's sorted, isn't it? And at that point, then you're all laughing at everyone.
I guess that kind of like balance and routine is such an individual thing as well. It's what works best for you.
What works best for you? Balance. Everything's about balance. Doing what you want and what makes you happy. Because if you're happy, then you're going to go to work and you're going to perform, aren't you? Yeah. If you're unhappy, then you're not going to go to work and perform. It's simple as that. Like, I'm making it out that business is really simple because it's not. And getting into business is not. It's fucking hard. And you have to, at the start, you do have to dedicate your time and your efforts to it. Yeah. Once you set up, balance yourself out. My dad, who he isn't my idol. My dad isn't my idol. And I've told him he's not my idol. But I learned so much from him. My dad's the most unflappable man you'll ever meet in your life. But he has the best work-life balance in the world. Mm-hmm. He's like, if you want to take a day off, take a day off. You want to work 4 hours, you work 4 hours. Because you were here once. And he's always taught me that. You're here once. You want to go to that party, go and do it. Leave, go do it. Mm-hmm. Your friends invite you out for lunch. We're in a position where we can do that, right? Yeah. Not everyone can do that. But if you're ever in a position where you have your own company, do it. Yeah. Don't sacrifice every hour of the day to be a millionaire. Because it might not happen.
I think it's a common story that you hear people who get into business for the freedom and the life, but end up just getting so tied up, like you were saying. Chasing the 12-hour days.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where, when you ask me about where I want to take the company, is if I lose that, and my ability to be able to do that, my freedom to do that, then that's when I stop. Or I just go, right, enough's enough now.
Yeah. I think, like you were saying, as somebody who needs to be like a leader for your company, I think you've got to have that attitude as well, haven't you?
Yeah.
Especially for the people around you to kind of look up to.
Yeah, but it's like anything common. The leader in school, right? Whoever was like the leader, you followed, you copied, right? Everyone does that. We see it all the time. People who deem people as leaders in society, copy them, right? You see kids all the time copying people on TikTok. People like, again, use George Heath for example. Hyrox is really popular because he endorsed it.
Yeah, all I see everywhere.
All you see, another Hyrox wanker, I keep saying. Okay, but again, a great example of someone who endorses something and people are copying it, which is great, getting healthy. That's a good endorsement. That's a great endorsement. But again, people in your business see you as someone who's a leader, and you allow them to copy what you're doing, then they're going to be happy as well, and they then become leaders. So the best thing other people can do as well is like what I'm saying about the luxury of having staff is endorse your staff, let them express themselves, make them leaders, hire with him. It's like Russian doll. Like, you start off as like my cousin, right? He's a project manager now. He started off at 16 as a labourer on site. He then became a joiner. By the way, anyone who's like watching, get into trades.
Yeah.
This is another thing I really want to say. So I see loads of people going, "Oh, I'm going to get a course doing forex trading." Yeah, great if you want to lose fucking loads of money, right? Oh, I'm going to do TikTok. Okay, great, crack on. But there's a serious lack of trades within this country, right? And the price of a tradesman is going up, up and up all the time. But also people go, "Oh, it's not cool." Well, I don't care if it's cool. Like, I'm not. My job's not cool. Yeah. It's not. I'm not. I don't resell fashion. No, nothing. Like, sorry, Eli, but I don't. I've told him this. I don't sell fashion products. I don't sell cool things. I don't make cool videos online. I don't have a massive following on Instagram. I don't want that. So for anyone who actually wants to grow their business, get into a trade. Yeah. Get a little bit of work behind you, then go, "Oh, actually, I could hire someone to help me out." Next minute you got 20 lads. Next minute you got 30 lads. Next minute you know, you're on holiday all the time because you're earning so much money because you've got all these people working for you. Just because it's a trade and it's hard work doesn't mean it's not going to make you good money. Because I know people who are still on the tools. Yeah. Plumbers, £600 a day at the moment. Someone offered you £600 a day, would you go fit some pipes?
Yeah,
100%. Yeah, there you go then.
If I could.
If you could, exactly. But it's a skill. And that's what people in this industry are lacking. And I will always say to people, right, AI is great. But guess what? AI will take over all the jobs, the computer jobs, all those kind of things where you can easily replace. AI will never do what I can do, or what my guys can do. It never can. It can't manage a construction project. It can't talk to. Yeah, it can talk to someone, but it can't convince someone to come and work for you or whatever. And it will never be able to build a building. So how robots? We're million years away from a robot being able to build a building, but we need buildings now. Yeah. So for all these people who think they're going to get mega rich from signing up to a course or doing something like that. If you're struggling, just get into a trade. Yeah. Learn your trade. Guess what? You can start getting paid from being an apprentice right now.
I think, do you know what it is? The whole online hustle culture has kind of made people lose perspective to a certain degree and forget about where these guys who are making loads of dough online originally kind of came from and what the old business ideas
and
were.
I see people, and it pisses me off, like, I was a joiner on site and, earning shit money. You were an apprentice and you didn't want to do it any longer. Don't have a go at someone because that's what, like my cousin, right? Isaac did miles better than me in school. Stuck it out, got his A-levels and everything. But he's a joiner now and he's the best joiner you'll come across. But he loves it. Yeah. So again, he doesn't want to be a millionaire. Doesn't want an aspiration of being a millionaire. Like, you guys are just, right, you said you've just started out being self-employed. It's fucking hard. The only way you can get to, and I say this all the time, there's no quick way to get rich. Yeah. But it depends what you deem as rich. Or, do you know what I mean? Is rich, is wealth to you having a family? Wealth to me is having a family, looking after my family, and providing my family a life that they deserve. And providing my friends a life that they deserve as well, if I can do that, if I'm lucky enough to do that. But it depends what you can be a lonely, sad person who has all the money in the world, but you're not happy. So I'd say to anyone, set your goals, set your target, and deem what the end goal is and what's going to make you happy. The other thing about the side hustle is as well, is where's your exit strategy? I've got a business, my business is my pension. People laugh at you for saying, "Oh, pension." Well, guess what? You're going to need some money when you're older.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you know what I mean? So another thing that people don't get educated about. The other thing is that obviously the educational system fails people.
I was going to say you don't really learn any of this in the educational system.
No, you don't. So people like yourselves are doing fucking brilliant for society. And that sounds daft, but you are you're allowing people like me to have a platform and other people to talk about their experiences, so people can watch learn and actually learn factual stuff.
Yeah.
Because again, you don't get taught any of this. You're doing economics, right? I could teach you more about the tax system in this country and how to cash flow your business than a lecturer can.
What I learned at university might as well have just been sociology. It's just theories. There's never really any. It's just people arguing against each other.
You're doing economics, right? You want to become an investment banker. Unless you know someone there and you went to a private school, you ain't going to be an investment banker. Like that's for the wealthy and the rich. That's for them to just keep the wealth together. But I'm not going to sit here and slate people who go to university and people who enjoy going to school, because if that's what you want to do, that's up to you. Like I saw this kid the other day saying, I'm going to go, I didn't go to university, it's shit, you shouldn't go, or you're going to be saddled with that, do econ, do this. I don't, like, what are you, 23? I didn't realise you were the chapter and verse of the universe, that you were the all-seeing wealth and, of knowledge, because you're not. Because if people want to do that, leave them alone.
That's what I saw. I went to go and see Jordan Peterson speak at the O2 Arena down in London. And he's kind of like went viral at first for the phrase where he told everyone to tidy their bedroom. And
it was true.
Pardon?
It's true.
The theory behind that was he was doing talks at universities and there were 16, 17-year-old communists holding fucking hammer and sickle flags behind them, telling him that he was wrong. And he said, well, if you can't even tidy your bedroom, who are you to change and say that your theory of the way that the entire world is run is right?
Correct. It's easy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Don't preach to the converted.
Yeah.
That's a really good saying. Like, don't preach to the converted, or don't. Like, you can have an opinion, but don't have an opinion on something that, again, like he's used. You can't tidy your own bedroom. Don't come protest outside. Right. So I had a debate, again, not trying to make it political, but I had a debate in Chorlton, a place near me, and it's a left-wing place, and there was some students on the street chanting about how we should be a communist society, hammer and sickle and all that, a bit like Jordan Peterson. And I went, if you have time to be out here now, and I was in between meetings, if you have time to be out here, you don't have a fucking job. So until you actually start paying your taxes and you start paying towards society, don't fucking lecture people about society. It's like exactly the same, isn't it?
Yeah.
100%. Until you're on the other foot. So don't lecture people about if they want to go out and have a good time or they want to go do education. Don't lecture people. Just
get on with it.
People spend so much time
speaking about.
Yeah, and do you know what?
I do agree with this.
People say to me all the time, "How do you just happy all the time? How do you do well?" I don't give a shit what people think about me. I've got like 3 friends. I've got no following on Instagram. I don't care. It's not for anyone to laud me. Like you're saying, just saying, like you agree with it. Like I don't care what people think. Like people can slate me. Like I don't care. Like I will still wake up happy in the morning. People go, "How do you sleep at night?" Really well, really, really well. So yeah, like just crack on, do what you're doing.
Yeah, I mean it's you do you kind of thing.
Yeah, it is, because people might say to you guys like, and I'd say to you guys like, if you only get 500 views on a video, keep going.
Yeah.
One day. Because everyone had that, like, it all reverts back to the first question. Well, one of the questions you asked me was like, what would you say to people, make the leap? You've made the leap. Like, if you stop now because you haven't got instant success, again, courses, online sales, or that, if you haven't got instant success, you give up after a week. Just keep going. Make the leap, keep going. Like, don't stop because you haven't had instant success. Like, it doesn't get, and you guys strike me as the guys who, like, just because you haven't got 100,000 subs so far, or even if you had 10 people viewing you, like you started from somewhere. Like I said, I had 5 months of no one wanting to speak to me. I still cold call people and try and speak to people. I still get told to fuck off.
We got like 10,000 views the other month or something, and we looked at the total views and we thought, can you imagine 10,000 people
we're sat in this room
and we're sat watching us? That'd be like the O2 Arena in London, sat watching you, me, and Jacob. And when you put it in that kind of perspective, it's unfathomable. You just think, how?
Exactly, but if you let people dictate how you feel or how you work, that's when you crumble.
Yeah.
So stick on. Like, the thing is, we live in again, like I was saying before, I work in a toxic environment. Unfortunately, we live in a toxic world of social media, and it'll bash you. People will say horrible things to you. I don't care. Just crack on with doing what you do. Yeah, get on with doing what you're doing. The best thing you can do, isn't it?
Ollie, you are an absolute
Thank
beast.
you
Thank you so much for
been a
coming on.
pleasure.
Honestly, you have said a lot of things that I think but wouldn't have been able to articulate. So thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure having you on. So
hopefully we've warmed you up for your speech later on.
I hope so.
Good luck.
Thank you very much. Right, thank you, Ollie. Cheers. Thank you, guys.